All right, so 1996 Chris Craft with a 5-liter Volvo Penta in it. We took it out, did a bunch of hot laps at like 4,000 RPMs, and on the last lap, there's Leo. It ended up smoking really bad. I'm gonna show you. The bellows or manifold, exhaust manifold, I don't know, rubber pieces, whatever you want to call them. These both started smoking. That was the root cause of it. So I believe this was all caused by the water pump, which is right there. You probably can't see it because it's dark, but I am in the process of taking this back seat out. I think the impeller is bad. Normally this boat runs at 125 degrees. Today it was at 175 and a big ball of smoke. So I know I have to replace those two bellows. I'm going to I'm going to take the water pump impeller out and see how it looks. Hopefully it looks bad, and I hope that's the root cause of this. It's always something. I always have to work on something. Pretty disappointed with this whole deal because no matter what, something breaks. No matter how well I take care of it. But like 3 years ago, I noticed the water pump impeller was leaking from the weep hole, and I didn't replace it then, and now it caught up to me. So the rest of this is going to be me fixing this boat, and I will let you know if that fixed it or not. Okay, so we are in the engine bay. I got the back seat off. This is a water pump, the freshwater pump, and see that bolt there, and on the lower side here is a sliding adjustment for tension for the belt. I'm going to take this off. I brought 13, 14, and 15 up here because I thought it was a 13. 13 fits, but it is not tight. So the weirdest thing in the world, a 1996 Ford engine has, those are standard bolts, which it shouldn't have, I don't think. I don't know if this was aftermarket, someone else put these on here, but it's a standard bolt. So I'm going to take these out and take this whole pump out and these off, these two lines, and we will disassemble this and see what it looks like inside. Okay, so I'm kind of packed in here, but I got the water pump out, which is right down there, right next to my foot. It's out. Then this is the elbow that goes between these two pipes. I took this bellows out. It is, you could see the white floor behind it. It is smoked. This slips over this manifold, and this is where the water comes in from one of these, somewhere it comes in. The water comes in right here and goes back. I believe, at least. And that's where, I believe that's where the water is introduced. But this is kind of, it's pretty much charred also. So I'm going to replace both. The other side, not so bad, but you can see the kind of heat that it was taking. I looked at this. It doesn't look like the wiring took any heat. It was just this, which is unfortunate, but I guess that's what happens when you skip out on boat maintenance. I typically I typically take care of everything I have, but I just didn't think it was that big of a deal, and now this is what we have. Probably going to spend, I'm guessing the impeller is going to be $50 or $60, and these boots are going to be probably another $100. So probably $150 into this because I skipped out on 50 in the first place. I'm just lucky that it didn't cause more damage than just some melted casing around the wires, which I'm going to wrap that with some heat resistant tape before I'm done, and I don't know. I looked at the other side real thoroughly while I was running it, and it didn't experience the same sort of heat as this. So I'm guessing that is the first side to get that gets the water, and then this is the second side. You know. So here's the water pump. I took the 3 bolts out. We're gonna look into it. It is on here pretty good, or it's sealed on. So, all right. So you could see, or at least I could see, that fin is missing a huge chunk of it, and I'm just guessing the rest of these. Oh, this one's torn. That one's torn. I'm guessing they're just generally in bad shape, like it looks like they are. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. I'm not sure how exactly to get it out. I'm sure it comes out this way, but I'm gonna work on that. Work on getting it out. But I'm guessing this was definitely my problem, since all these fins are really beat up, and they're just, you know, this is my fault, my own fault, because of lack of maintenance. I tried to take care of this boat, but apparently I'm not doing a good enough job. Maybe who knows when this was done last. We bought it, the wife and I bought it in, let me see, 2010. So it's 2018. It's been 8 years. I know I haven't changed it. I don't know if the guy before me changed it. I can ask him because I still know him, but there's a good chance that he probably did. But it's at this point, it needs to be replaced for sure, and I think that's what caused this. So I'm going to get the parts on order, and we will put that back in, and you can see the result. I want to show you this. I was prying on this with with needle nose pliers and regular pliers, and then I started to turn it, and apparently it just wants to walk out on its own. So maybe try that if you can't get this out. It has moved more from me just spinning it than it did the whole time while I was trying to get it out on purpose. So we'll see what happens. So it's out. Here's some pieces of it. Trying to go through the rest of the impeller here. Now, there was a weep hole, or at least it was leaking from somewhere. I do not know where, apparently, but I don't know. This bearing doesn't sound too bad. It's got a little bit of play, no play. It's got a little bit of noise to it, but I don't know that that's a problem. But if you look at this, a little bit of this was caused by me, but not very much. So there was a good bit of wear on this, and these are they're real weak and bent over. The theory behind this is every time it comes around, it straightens these out and pushes water. It takes water in from here and squishes it around and pushes water out. So I think that's the issue. I don't think I'm going to rebuild this whole pulley unit, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Maybe there is, but I don't know. I honestly don't know where the water was leaking from. I thought there was supposed to be a weep hole. Nope. have no idea where the weep hole was or where it was leaking from, so maybe I should rebuild the whole thing. If I can find a part number, maybe I will. We'll see. Okay, so here we are. About a week later, I got the new exhaust boots. I got a new fuel filter because I've had the boat for a lot of years. I've never changed it. Fuel water separator. I'm gonna change that. And instead of ordering the impeller and putting this back together, I noticed that this has been leaking out of the bearings right there. So I sent this out and had it overhauled. There is a guy on eBay that overhauls these. He specializes in it, in Volvo Penta raw water pumps. I think it's the name of his business is Raw Pumps on eBay. So if you have this problem, he can rebuild your stuff. So the cost of the rebuild kit for this is around $75 from what I found. He rebuilt it, overhauled it for $150, and I had it back in less than a week from the time of purchase. And I'm pretty sure it has a warranty. I don't know if you could see down in there. It's got brand new vanes in the pump. Should be good to go. I'm way more confident with this than doing it myself. I don't have a press. I have access to one at work, but this is, I mean, it looks brand new. For half, less than half, a new one is $400. I said earlier in the video that I would think this would be about 150 bucks. That was a lie. That was 50. That was 40, 20 there, and then 150. So I'm way over what I thought it was, but it is a boat, and boats are expensive. So hopefully, if you have a weeping water pump, don't wait until you burn everything up. Just get it rebuilt or put a new impeller in it. All right, I'm going to be putting it back in the boat in 1 minute. Okay, so I got kind of sidetracked, didn't videotape any of the install, but here we are. There's the new exhaust boots, new water pump, not leaking, seem to be working just fine. Leak checked the fuel filter. Everything seems to be going just fine. And here's where we're at. Like I'd say that's 125, 130, something like that. That's normally where it was at when it melted those bellows. It was up at 175. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. As long as it doesn't get too much hotter than that, I think it's gonna be a good fix. I think that was the whole issue the whole way along. I haven't really got it up on the water and going yet, but yeah. I hope this video helps you. If it does, please subscribe to the channel. Done about 5 hot laps, and it's touchable. So if I could touch it, it is not going to melt those bellows. We came up a couple degrees from where we started out, but everything seems to be working right. Yeah,